All right, New York Jets fans, we need to talk about Mr. Aaron Glenn. Didn't exactly have a great game yesterday. Okay, so the Jets lost 13-11 to the Denver Broncos in London town. Not exactly the outcome that we all wanted. And so far as Glenn is concerned, not exactly what we were all hoping for. Now, yesterday, he had a couple of problems with game management, you might say. Some are calling for him to be fired. I don't think he will be, and I don't think he should be. And the reason is because we're the New York Jets, and we have a little problem called attracting good coaching to our team because of many factors. Woody Johnson, one of the worst owners in the NFL, having to work in New Jersey, having a stadium that looks like an air conditioner with frozen concrete as a playing surface, not great for attracting players, on and on and on. All the reasons. Now, he just had a press conference, Glenn did, and he admitted he made a mistake in the first half. Now, if you were watching the watch along on Green Bean's channel with me and Jeremy and Dom C, I said, well, why don't we just run the clock down to 4 seconds and throw it up to G, or just throw a Hail Mary? It seemed like the logical thing to do. That way it's low risk. The half ends. You don't risk turning the ball back over to them with any time on the clock. A fairly low risk thing. The only bad thing that could happen is, like we saw the Hail Mary with the Dolphins that time. But that's a pretty rare thing. But leave it to us for it to happen to us. But so that's the only thing that could really have happened negative. Either your guy gets it, you get a DPI, or it just falls incomplete, but at least you tried. As it looked like we were giving up. Now, what Glenn said was there was confusion by the refs of whether it was a first down or not, and that is bad on the refs, by the way. So if there's any confusion like that, the clock's running down, they should call it an official timeout. To sort it out, because it's unfair to the team trying to figure out what they're going to do if you can't tell them if it's first down or fourth down. When there's something weird going on, the officials have the ability to call an official's timeout to sort out the something weird, whatever it may be. In this case, they needed to tell us whether it was first down or fourth down because the clock was running. We had no timeouts. And so there's that. Now, as I've said many times, and I will keep saying, and I'm going to do special videos on it, the referees need to be graded on their performance. And if they don't meet a certain level of grade, they need to be fired. And that needs to be written into their contracts and needs to be collectively bargained and agreed to. But we need that because these referees are terrible. You see it all over. It's not just the Jet games. It's all over the NFL. They're horrible. If you want to see more about that, go to my X account at Flatbush Frankie, and I highlight some of the worst plays. Just retweeting some. There's an account that does this. I just retweet them, and you can see it's all over the league. It's terrible. And what we need to have is consistent calls across the league, and we need to grade these refs, and the bad ones, get them out of there. It's very simple. But anyway, and then the end of the game, we probably should have kicked a field goal as well. That was debatable. Glenn said he didn't think, folk could make it. Not good. So this is, especially with the new K balls, you try it. Fields hadn't been able to do anything in the air the entire game, and then 4th and 8 at the end of the game, we expect Fields to convert that, even though, we hadn't been able to move one of the worst passing games you've ever seen in your life. So instead of trying a 62-yard field goal, which likely would have been missed, but still probably better odds to hit that than Justin Fields being able to hit a pass for 8+ yards against an incredible defense. So not good for Glenn, and it hasn't been good for Glenn all year. He's combative with the media. That seems like you're winning in the moment. The media will always strike back, and they will always win. We talk about the media on this channel all the time. I can go more into that later if you want to know why that is, but striking at the media is very dangerous for a head coach to do. The old saying is you never argue with people who buy ink by the barrel. Yeah, from going back to the old newspaper days. But or you never get into a fight with the people who buy ink by the barrel. But the idea is that so Glenn hasn't been good this year. He has not. I would rate his grade as a head coach probably D+. It hasn't been good. So should we fire him? I would say no. The thing we have to, because he's not going to get fired. Woody has his back right now. And the other thing is we just have to hope he gets better. Why? Because he wants to be here. He loves the job. Yeah. Not too many. There's a lot of people who don't want to be here and told us so when we were in the interview process. They said, don't even call me. I'm not interested. So we have to hope he gets better. And that's really what we have to hang our hat on. He wants to get better. He admitted the mistake in the first half. He said, I should have done the Frankie plan. He didn't say that, but he said, I should have thrown a Hail Mary with a few seconds left. I made a mistake. It's on me. So at least he admitted it. And at least he said, I made a mistake. And so if that's the first step to improvement, is admitting what you've done wrong. If he came out and said, no, it was the right decision, absolutely, whatever, then you'd be like, oh, God. But at least he admitted it. So let's have a little bit of hope there. I mean, we're grasping for straws here, I understand, but we're Jet fans. This is all we have is straws to grasp at. Whoever grasps for a straw anyways. But so let's hope that he improves. He's going to get 2 to 3 years at the minimum. He probably is going to serve out his whole full contract. At the very least, he's being highly paid by Woody, 11 or 12 million. So we upped that from the 5 we gave Saleh, by the way. And so even though he's a first-time head coach, we thought that highly of him where we gave him a high salary. Okay? That means Woody's not going to cut bait on him anytime soon. This year, next year, year 3, you could start to think about it, but that's it. And so I would say, let's look at the positive. He admitted he made a mistake. Let's hope he gets better at it. And that's all we can really do at this point. He's not going to be fired, nor really should he be, because who would we replace him with? That's all these people from the outside who are saying, fire Glenn, this was the worst mistake I've ever seen. They're not, the people who are not Jet fans don't understand. Who are you going to hire? Rex Ryan? Come on. Let's be realistic. I have a couple of candidates, but but would the Jets really hire them? Would they want to be here? It's difficult. We have to hope Glenn can evolve into at least an average head coach. And the same thing with the coaching staff, to where we can, if we get the right players, because the roster is poor, and that's the main reason we're losing. The bad coaching doesn't help, but I wouldn't say poor coaching, poor game management decisions. Maybe you could quibble with some of the game planning and so forth and so on. But the main reason we're losing is because of the roster that they constructed, and so hopefully the second time around that gets better, and then hopefully they improve. So that's what I have to say about Aaron Glenn, New York Jet fans. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And as always, please subscribe and like the video, and think about joining the Inner Circle, where you too can join the Jets unpaid scouting department, where we give you the tools to scout these quarterbacks, because we're going to need one, it looks like. All right, see you next time.